We've all known in the last year and a half that the power sport industry has grown significantly, and it keeps on growing. And in this video, I wanted to talk to you about quite a few things. This sport is fun for the whole family, but it can quickly become dangerous and troublesome. Because in this sport, with the side-by-sides and ATVs, there is many people that would like to see us shut down. And to help keep that from happening, we want to talk to you about trail safety, adequate, picking up your trash, what you pack in, please pack out. Now we have helmets. Every rider should make a practice to wear helmets, including myself, even though I don't, and I really should. But the most important thing is, you're an adult, you can make your own choices. Most states do have helmet laws. Here in our state, we do not have a helmet law, and a lot of people don't wear helmets, and we really should. I see a lot of things on the trails, such as beer cans, pop cans, food wrappers, and all of that stuff. I myself, I toss it back in my cooler or in the bed of the side-by-side in a bag so I can bring it back home and throw it away. With that being said, a lot of people like to park on the trails and hog up all the trails. We don't need any of that hogging up on the trail stuff, because you want to be able to let people through. Also, some of these trails are on private property and can lead to troubles. Some owners are generous enough to let us pass through their land on a designated trail, and we need to keep it that way, and we need to stay on the trail. Don't go off the trail to hit a mud hole or a nice jump or start a campfire. No, save that for back at camp along with the beer. The beer is another problem. I know a lot of us, we like to go out, we like to ride, we like to party, have fun, drink beer. I myself don't mind having a beer or two throughout the whole day. But I know a lot of people like to pack their cooler full of alcohol and drive on the trails. Now, I don't like that because it puts me and my family in danger, because a lot of people, they don't know how to hold their liquor or their alcohol, and they do act stupid. And I don't like to see that stuff on the trails. I go out on the trail to have fun, not to get killed. Now, I know I've had comments before. People said, you know what, if you don't like it, stay home. Well, here's the deal. I make the choice to go out on the trail. I want to have a family-friendly, fun, responsible day. I don't want to go out there and have somebody T-bone me because they've been drinking, or kill one of my kids or myself, or you for that matter. So please keep the alcohol for back at your campsite, back at home. You wouldn't hop in your car and drink and drive down the road, would you? Well, then again, some idiots do. I also think, meanwhile, it's worth mentioning that I know a lot of people are new to the side-by-side, the ATV, the dirt bike, all the power sports industry, and I feel it might be necessary to take an ATV course or class. A lot of times they are free, and sometimes they'll give you lunch or whatever to do it. Myself, I've been in this industry for 31 years, 32 years. I started when I was 3 years old on a little dirt bike and was racing when I was 4 years old all the way up. So I myself know the dangers that these machines can have. And they can be very dangerous when operated improperly. So look into an ATV course if you're not familiar, or just get on YouTube and watch some videos like this and talk about some of the safeties. Maybe I'll do a video on ATV side-by-side safetiness, but not in this one. This one's intended purpose is something totally different. Another thing that I think it's worth mentioning is I see a lot of, and it's kids on too big of an ATV or a dirt bike. also another thing that I see that's worth mentioning is adults leaving their kids unsupervised. Now that's something that I would never do personally, and neither should you. For the main reason, my kids wrecked this ATV. I was ahead of them. I wasn't very far ahead of them, but I was ahead of them enough that I didn't know that they wrecked. And somebody had to come tell me. But I was only 200 feet ahead of them, but it was so dusty and everything I couldn't see. And my kid was driving like a complete idiot, okay? Which he knew better, or at least I thought knew better. So that is something to look out for. He wrecked this thing so bad, it bent the frame, the handlebars. It's a mess, but it still runs, it still rides, and it will still let them kids have fun. Now this ATV is not too big for my 13-year-old. It's only a 300cc, but it is big enough to hurt him or worse. And I see a lot of kids driving 500s, 800s. I see them driving full-blown side-by-sides at 10 years old. That is something that should never, ever, ever happen. Now, if you're with them and they're driving and you have strict guidelines and full control over them, by all means, I love seeing the kids out having fun and learning to drive these things and learning the risks and how to be safe with these things. And that's what it's all about, having fun and being safe. I also wanted to talk about proper machine maintenance, because a lot of the times when you break down on the trail, it's a lack of maintenance. You should always check your suspension, make sure it's not leaking. Check your ball joints, make sure they're not loose. Check your bearings, make sure they're not bad. Always grease your machine and stay on top of it, because at the end of the day, that little bit is the meaning of you having fun all day or you going out for a couple hours and breaking down. It's not hard to do at all whatsoever. So, get you a grease gun, check over your machine, your suspension components. If you want to know how to do that stuff, I definitely have videos on that. Make sure to check them out. Another thing that's worthwhile to mention is tools that you should keep with you on the trail. You should always keep enough tools with you out on the trail so you could change your own belt if need be. It's usually only a few tools. Sure, nobody wants to have to change a belt on a trail, but at least you'll be able to do it and keep on riding. Another thing you should keep with you is at least a tire plug repair kit, which you'll find in the links down below in the video. Using the links in the video actually helped me with the channel. And I always pick out some really cool stuff down there for you guys to check out, so make sure you check that out. You should always carry at least a pair of pliers, maybe a hatchet with you, a tow rope. You never know what kind of situation you or one of your friends or even somebody you don't know might end up in. Some of these trails can get pretty harsh and you just never know, so be prepared. And the most important thing you should always carry with you is a medical kit. Band-aids, gauze, pads, medications, burn cream, all of that stuff can help. And I always say, if you have it, you'll never need it. But if you don't have it, you will need it. So definitely get it, and hopefully you'll never have to use it, but you'll have it just in case. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was one that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and I wanted to try out my wireless mic set that came in the mail today. So I hope you had fun watching. I hope you learned a little something. And if there's anything that I missed and didn't touch on, please comment down below. One more thing before we go that I'd love to touch on is trail etiquette. You know, I've seen some people setting pop cans or beer cans down on somebody else's machine. That's a no-no. And if you're a smoker and somebody else is a non-smoker, make sure everybody in your group is okay with you smoking. If not, go away from them to smoke. I know I'm a vapor, and most everybody I ride with could care less if I vape. So I vape when we stop. I very rarely vape while I'm driving, but I vape when we stop. But back to that can. Nobody wants rings on their machine. We want mud on our machines. They don't want scratches unless the scratches happened because of them. So just be very kind and don't lean up and push on other people's machines, and just don't do that. And please don't clog up the trails with all your buddies sitting there, because a lot of times you're gonna have to let people through and it's just a pain in the rear. So what I recommend is finding a nice wide open spot so you can pull over, you can eat you a sandwich, drink you a pop or a water, and chit chat with your buddies, because we all know there's a lot of 530 clubs out there. Those of you that don't know what a 530 club is, well, that's when you ride for 5 and bullshit for 30. And I'm one of those groups. I ride for 5 and I bullshit for 30. All right, guys, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. I want to make sure that you check out these videos here, here, and here. Definitely check those out, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out, and God bless.